Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program. We've got an early morning launch, and today we are launching our ship that is eventually going to be going to Moho. And if you take a click here, you'll also see I could do these materials bay and mystery goo, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is a temperature scan, and I'm going to transmit that back home. Because that's what we do. Okay, we are going to turn on the computer for the first few seconds of flight here, just to make sure it doesn't wander off in some crazy direction. And in 3, 2, 1... Actually, I'm going to leave this up. We are going to launch. Any fairings-based staging mishaps are always returnable to the thing. Let's do another temperature scan and let's transmit it. And now in 3, 2, 1, launch. And we can do another temperature scan and transmit it. We're already wandering, so let's get ourselves back on here. We're going to turn the computer off now. And I don't want to go too far over, but I don't want to not go far enough. And I think that right there is perfect. Now we're just going to wait for the solids to end. This crazy flashing experiment thing is crazy and flashing. Whoa. My ship is crazy and... Okay, get rid of those and then we'll have more control now. Whoa. We have more control, which means I can fail faster and better. Okay. I think we're good. This should be a perfect... This should be a perfect... I'm actually going to turn off Blizzy's toolbar because it seems to work better over here. Yeah, see? Temperature scan. Let's go ahead and transmit that. We're almost at 20 and we're just above 45, which seems to be the being able to get into orbit just fine. We're slightly off the east, but that doesn't really matter. We're going interplanetary, so exactly where our orbit is fine. I like to be at 30 at 30, and it looks like we might not actually be there, so I'm going to cheat up just a little bit. I found if you keep within this marker here, no matter what your rocket is made like, as long as it's moderately atmospheric. Let's do a temperature scan and return it. It's so nice to not have to worry about bringing extra thermometers or anything like that. But yeah, this went a little shallower than I wanted it to. Okay, ditching the fairings. Hitting 1. Okay, the things did not die, which is good. I'm just going to keep it right on the top of this thing, because now we don't have as much to worry about with atmospheric efficiency, because we're a little bit farther out. We are, though, past our apoapsis. No, we're not past our apoapsis. Or our periapsis. Oh, that's what the problem is. we've got a really high apoapsis. I was wondering why it was flipping around here. But the good thing is drag will bring us back down, and this thing has basically got us into orbit, which is the good thing here. And yeah, notice that the apoapsis is going down pretty far. So I think I'm actually going to burn a little bit more prograde here, just to get my apoapsis up to, say, 90. And it shouldn't come down too far. As long as it's above 80, I'm happy. And it looks like we'll be fine. So actually, you know what we should do? I'm just watching my periapsis here. As soon as we run out of fuel, I might as well use up the fuel in this thing. And then now we can ditch it. And it will crash back down because it's going to come within 46 kilometers. And now, at our higher apoapsis here, we can just burn to get our periapsis above 70, and it'll be a much cheaper burn. But we'll wait till we're out of the atmosphere to do that. Here we go. We can now do our temperature scan and transmit it, and then we get a contract for that. Yay! A lot of money. Basically pays for this flight. And we're done. Okay, now he's good until our ejection to Moho. So I'll be back when we are ready to start doing that. Okay, we're back. We've got about 2 hours before we're going to need to eject to Moho. It is going to be kind of on the leading edge here, which is nice. It's near our periapsis. Not that that's critical or anything. 1658 prograde and negative 1238. So we're just going to... Now, granted, these numbers aren't going to be exactly right, but they're going to be close because we've already got some of the orbit done. So, 1658, we'll just put that. And then normal, negative 1238. We'll just see what that looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to get us to connect right here. So let's go negative on the prograde a little bit. It seems very far off. A lot farther off than I would think it should be. So let's just do this the old-fashioned way. Makes me wanna scrub this flight and do it over here when we'll actually be at the ascending node. That's one of those things that really annoys me about the transfer calculators is if they give you something and you do it and you think you're doing it right and suddenly it doesn't work. And I'm positive that I put it in with the date thing. I double checked that. So yeah, I don't know what to do with this. Part of me wants to just do the burn and then here we'll do another correction burn. So I think we're just going to do that. This gets us a nice connection. And then we can here add a maneuver 735, which we have. So we'll just do it. We should probably also aim this at Kerbin before we have trouble. I believe we have ejected from Kerbin's sphere of influence. We have. We are lowering our orbit now. I'm doing 4 times time warp. Seems to be doing fine. Here's where I'm getting worried, though, that he's going to screw up, possibly. So I'm keeping an eye on everything, and I'm ready to cancel this if it screws up. But it looks like we're fine. Let's delete the maneuver node. We have, excuse me, we have a connection. Let's go ahead and right here do another maneuver node. And this was to slow down. We could probably speed up instead of slowing down, and it'll cost less, but it doesn't really matter because we're doing this. Yeah, it's only going to cost $396 because we didn't have the 700 to do that. So now, and then also, this will give us a very, very tiny possibility of ever encountering Kerbin again. Probably not because we're at an angle. But it's worth a try. So, what this here is for is we're going to... just get an encounter. We don't care what it is. And it is the very next thing to happen, but it's not too far before the Dres window, which we're going to try to hit as well. Log the temperature. Yeah, no connection to send command on. What? Oh, that's because, yeah, I know what that's... That always scares me, but it's okay. We focus on Kerbin and we look here, we'll see that I didn't connect it to mission control, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, he's over here. So yeah, he's not gonna actually have a connection until this cone gets significantly bigger than it is. Like, there we go. Okay, now we can go take this temperature scan. But it can't be done right now. Okay. So yeah, the temperature scanner actually might not even be useful high over Moho, or low over Moho, but I'm pretty sure you can do low over temperature science. Okay, so in 64 days we've got our maneuver node. And he's doing the burn. Just watching his orbit ideally match up with this. Oh, you know what? I just realized I should be dumping these tanks. I should have dumped my side tanks. Okay, well, we have the connection with Moho, and it's actually better than the maneuver node said. I just realized, yeah, I forgot that I have these drop tanks. I've completely wasted the fact that I set them up as drop tanks. We've only got 213 meters per second to make this connection awesome. And we could probably, honestly, do it in the sphere of influence change. See, that gets us 17. And it costs 460. Yeah, it's actually we do need more. So we'll do it. We'll do it where you should do it, which I don't exactly know where that is, but probably. Oh, it's putting. I see what it's doing. We need to add a maneuver and then minus an orbit because Kerbal Space Aquarium likes to put it on the next orbit. Okay, now let's go -1. And it's already off the board, so let's go down to the very lowest. Yeah, this is the kind of maneuver we want to be able to do here. 123. Now we go radial. Let's get him right down to like 26. I think that's good. And then we can tweak that on the sphere of influence change. So that is a 0.1 meter per second. It is well after the Dres window. So we are going to basically, you know what? We should launch the exact same ship to Dres. How much does this guy going to take to eject from Kerbin? A lot less. So yeah, we're just going to launch an exact duplicate ship to Dres. Okay, I'm not going to show you everything here because we've already seen it, the exact last flight, but I am going to hit launch, and I'm going to show you what this guy's going to do once he has reached orbit. And because he has a one thing that the other ship didn't have. Actually, he has, yeah, one thing. Well, two things, technically, because they're on there for balance. Yeah, this was a much better launch than the last one. Not quite as horizontal at the start. So now that we're just getting to 30 degrees, it's already past 35 kilometers. So yeah, you just got to do a launch a couple times to figure it out in this game, with FAR. Okay, we're going to ditch the fairings. We're going to hit 1. And now to show you, I'm going to turn the computer on as well because we're caring about how we're aimed now. Now I'm going to show you what we're bringing up extra, and that is 2 gear bays. That the boys downstairs wanted to know how they handle being in orbit for some reason. So I've attached them to the fuel tanks that this time I'm going to ditch, I promise. And we're just going to see how they work. Okay, we've ditched that. We have a higher apoapsis, and our periapsis is about the same as it was before. Now, granted, we haven't left the atmosphere yet. We also appear to possibly be slightly more or slightly less aerodynamic than this thing, because it kind of looks like it might be slowing down and then coming towards us again. But that would be kind of amusing. But we've got to get this guy up to his apoapsis. I don't think this counts as in orbit because the periapsis is below the horizon here. We could probably, if we burn upwards, I think, will that raise our periapsis? But I don't think it's worth it. I think we'll just go up to apoapsis here. Okay, and now our periapsis is at 80, so we are now in orbit. So now we just got to get below 93, and then we can run this test. All the contract things are done, so we need to run the test. And it says, hey, you figured it out. Good job. Here's 38 grand. You are welcome. Okay, so those are done now. Sadly, we've got to carry them until these tanks are done. But that's not a big deal. And that's it. Yeah, we just got to eject this guy now. So let's see what our to Dres window looks like here. Sadly, this one's not going to be as awesome as the last one. Let's go ahead and do what it says, which is, yeah, mostly prograde. So let's just do it all prograde and see how that works. 1543 prograde. And we've got an encounter. That's all I care about. Whew. Okay, it is in a mere 9 days, so we're going to ignore this window here. We're just going to do what it says here. I don't even know what I'm telling it to do. Okay, node and execute. So it's all waiting 9 days. So I will be back in 9 days. Okay, 2 game crashes later that have nothing to do with anything. It's just, I'm not actually sure exactly why the game was crashing, but that's just the way it works sometimes. We are ready to start our ejection burn in, what, about 15 seconds here. Let's go ahead and speed that up just a tad. And now for the boring part. We're just waiting for this to finish. So this is probably going to be the last thing that happens during this episode. So tell you what, I'm not even gonna stop it. Oh, that looks really cool. This might be the screenshot. Anyway, yeah, this is the last thing we're going to do here. We're going to get this ejection done. I'm probably going to tweak it to get a good encounter, but you saw me do that with Moho, so I'm not gonna bore you with that for Dres. But once we finish that, there's not much to do until this Elu flyby, which I'm probably not even going to do because you can't transmit from Elu with the dishes I have. So it's probably back to once these guys, like next episode, I'll do the actual flybys, and then we'll start worrying about things like unlocking that node that has all the goodies in it. The two big things I want, which is docking ports and the hitchhiker, so I can start sending people out. If these flybys don't get that amount of science for me, I'm thinking about allowing contract science again, just to get those up. And I'm also thinking about upgrading to 0.25 finally. That's still in the cards, I just haven't had a chance to do it. I'm hoping this coming weekend, which I think this will be released right before, is going to be the time when I'm going to try that. So assuming I can get that going, then I'm going to start getting contract science anyway. It's just going to be at a reduced value. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I am Fifth Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.